Good morning. Looks like we're getting rain just in time for me to get back to the boat. But it's okay because we have a lot of electronic work to do, and that means a lot of sitting at a desk and fiddling around with things. And the first thing I get to fiddle around with are the new batteries. I am so excited about these. So as I mentioned before, these are 12S NMC batteries. They come in an assortment of 12 cells times 2 taped up to a cooling plate. So these are a kind of lithium battery. They're not quite as light as LiPo, but they're a little bit cheaper. And in other ways, they kind of share all the same kind of stuff, which means I also need to put BMS systems on them to ensure that none of the cells get over voltaged and to organize all the charging. Now, charging these things is going to be a bit of an issue because most chargers are designed for lead acid batteries or AGM batteries or whatever, but either way, 12 volt nominal batteries, and I'm dealing with these 3.7 volt nominal cells that all need to be charged kind of individually. So it's gonna make it interesting, but I think what I'll do is I'll do a little diagram for you guys and I'll draw it out and then we can talk about that. So the plan here is to make 8 13 cell batteries out of 9 12 cell batteries, and then also I'll be left over with 8 extra cells, which is enough for me to make 2 12 volt batteries that I can use in the dinghy. So because the main charge controller is putting out 48 volts, I'll be wiring that to 8 smaller BMSs that will manage the charge and balance each cell. The main outputs will also run through these BMSs, and that will allow us to do safety shutdowns and give us warning lights and all kinds of warning information that's really useful in case we over discharge any batteries or any cells. Unfortunately, they don't make small, affordable BMSs that handle high amperage, so the main output leads will still run directly to the motor controller and to the motor, and I'll have to rely on warning lights in order for me to turn off my motor and go check on the batteries manually. So given that, everything's pretty much going to go through these BMSs, and that means I need to cut apart the batteries, wire in the extra cell, and kind of make room for it on the cooling plate. So let's open up this battery and see what it's got inside. So it looks like what I bought was 9 batteries. On each battery I get 1 cooling plate, 4 high quality temperature sensors, a little bit of BMS wiring, and then 11 really cool like flexible copper braided connectors. So considering I only paid about 50% more than I would have for lead acid at this capacity, and that it's going to weigh about a quarter what a lead acid pack would actually weigh, probably less than that, I'm pretty happy. And there's only going to be some modifications I really need to do. I need to add an extra cell to each 12S configuration, probably. I still haven't confirmed that, but most likely. And then I also need to do waterproof the pack a little bit better. So what it's not built for is marine applications, so I'll be putting on some marine grade liquid electrical tape to seal up everything, some shrink wrap, you know, anything I can do to kind of make sure that the system stays nice and dry and free of salt air, because salt air is pretty bad for it as well. But yeah, pretty happy with these little modules, and I've got a lot of work ahead of me to get them to where I want them, and I think this little guy here that I took apart is going to be the one that I sacrifice and I break down into my other battery packs. So as exciting as that is, I have some regular old boat work here to do. I got to remove a stove, and since it's still raining, I don't really want to make it my way to shore just yet and fight the rain, because I'm pretty sure I lost my rain jacket somewhere. I think I left it at Millie's house. So I'm gonna just do some work here on the boat for a little bit longer, and then we'll head into town, but first let's go take care of that stove. Come on. So this is a potential motor that we could use. I'm not 100% on it just yet. I like the fact that it's lightweight. I like the fact that it's small and short shaft and kind of like tucks away, so it's good in that respect for lightweightness and easy to manage and easy for me to carry the thing. But my concern is that the prop's not big enough to handle the amount of power we want to put through it. And I mean, don't pay attention to the 25 horsepower. The AC35 can crank out as much as 70 horsepower under the right voltage, so that's kind of the motor I've been looking at, and I don't know if it's going to actually fit in this box, so we got to do some more measuring, got to pull maybe the engine off and kind of like figure out if it's actually the right motor for the application and if we can use it. Alright, we're on our way back to the boat, but I'm going to make a little pit stop because I spotted Mike's little houseboat thing and it looks like it's sinking and he's not here. So I've got my little battery pack on board and we're going to bring it over there and see if we can't pump it out. Hopefully it's got some sort of 120 volt pump. We'll find out in a minute. Well, lucky for Mike, I was around because no one else was touching this thing while I was gone. And yeah, it almost sank. Unlucky for me, Mike locked up his cabin, didn't give me a key. But lucky for me, he set up this cable. Unlucky for me, he didn't connect the other half of it. So I reached in across the counter, I managed to wiggle it all the way over here, plug it in to my little powder bank, and boom, we're pumping them out. So I'll let that run till the battery bank dies and that should do the trick. It's much better now, eh, champ? Look at it, it's almost done. Look at that. Gained about 12 inches there. Not bad. Alright, curled up here with a delicious Alfredo with a little bit of onions, tomatoes, jalapenos, a little bit of cilantro on top, and then chicken drumsticks because they were really cheap at the local grocery store. Oh, today was a good day for karma. You know, I got a free outboard motor, but then I also paid it back by helping Mike pump out his boat. You know, the world has a way of balancing itself out. I really like living here on the island. I really like coming back. It's good here. It's really good. Alright. Big thanks for watching, guys. And also a really big thank you to my patrons. If it wasn't for you guys, I'd be back at work and not doing this right now, so thank you so much. If you want to check out my Patreon, links in the description. There's also a shop for some merchandise, like toques and shirts and a little mug that says I love Champ. If you're looking to help the project out in any other way, you can subscribe, like, and share these videos. Thank you so much. Bye.